Hello everyone, it's Maria here from pepperlyrose.blogspot.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Sydney, Australia. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to all those that have subscribed recently. I really appreciate the support, and those that are already subscribing and watching my videos, I can't thank you all enough. I really do appreciate everything you have done. So today's project is going to be a toolbox shaped card. I recently had some work done at our place, and I'd really like to send this card off to the carpenter that did all this wonderful work, and he did it quickly and he did such a fantastic job. So this is a little card that I'll be sending to him, and it's going to be basically the shape of a toolbox. So the sets I'm using today is the Nailed It stamp set. Love that. It's a Nailed It bundle, and also the Build It Framelit dies that come with that. They bundled together and you get 10% off, or you can buy them separately. That's up to you. So I'm using this bundle today. I'm using the Hexagons Dynamic Textured Embossing folder. Beautiful. I'm going to add some lovely texture with this. And I'm also using the Layering Ovals Framelit Dies. Okay, wonderful multi-purpose, and I'll show you how to use this in a different way. And so we'll get started on the project. Now I've pre-cut all of my cardstock just to make things go a bit faster. So what you will need is a piece of real red cardstock, and it is 8.5 by 4.5 inches. You will need a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and it's 3 inches by 4 inches across. You'll need a piece of silver foil, and that will be 4.5 inches by 3.25 inch long. You'll need a scrap piece of Whisper White, a scrap piece of basic black cardstock, and a scrap piece of silver foil. Okay, so we'll get started with the scoring of the real red cardstock. And I'm just going to bring up the scoreboard. You can use your trimmer for this, but I like using my scoreboard, and I'll just find it easier. So on the 8.5 inch side, you will need to score at 2 3/4 inches. So I'll get that 2 3/4 inches, and at 6 2/8. Or yeah, 6 1/4. Anyway, so that's that one. So we'll keep the stylus out, because I'll show you why in a minute. So we'll grab our bone folder, and we will fold onto those score lines and burnish those score lines. So I'll make a card like that. So it'll open like that, okay? Or actually, how will it open? No, sorry, it'll open this way. Sorry. Okay, what you'll need to grab is a ruler, and what we're going to make is a tick mark with our stylus. So what you'll need to measure in, so from the edges, is 3/4 inch. So I'll just make a teeny tiny tick mark there. So I'll make another tick mark at the 3/4 inch there. Make sure that's 3/4 inch. Yep, and I'll do the same on the other side, on the other corners. So I'll need, oops, so I need 3/4 inch over here. So I'll just measure up to 3/4 inch there, and 3/4 inch there. So this is going to be a shaped card, okay? So what I'll grab now are my paper snips, and where we made those 2 tick marks, I'm not sure if you can see it, so there's one there and one there. What we're going to do is, with our scissors, we're going to line up the 2 tick marks and cut, so it creates a corner that's even. So we'll do that on the other side again. So we find our little tick marks. I don't think it'll come up very much. So there's one, and one's over here. So we'll just line up with our scissors at the 3/4 mark, and then cut. So that's gone through about, a bit, 2 layers of cardstock there and a little bit off this one. Okay, so that's how it will look. So it's looking like a toolbox already. Really, really cute. Okay, and with the inside panel, we might as well cut the inside panel. Of course, you'll see that there are corners. So what you'll need to do is make tick marks on here as well with your ruler. So you will need 9/16 of an inch, or just the 1/16 mark past the 1/2 inch mark. So I'll just make a tick mark there, and I'll do that again there, and then I'll do it on the other side. So I'll do that there, and again there. Okay, and we'll just grab our scissors and we're just going to cut across those tick marks. So now, when you go to layer this piece inside, it has a beautiful border right round, okay? So that's all worked out for you, nice and easy. All right. So we'll just pop this to one side for a minute. We're going to grab our big shot, and we are going to emboss this little strip of silver foil. So I'll just grab my embossing folder. Now this embossing folder is a lot thicker. That's called the dynamic folder. So it's a lot thicker than our regular embossing folders. So what you'll need is only one cutting plate. So I'll just grab our regular Stampin' Up platform, and we'll just now line up the piece of silver foil cardstock in an area where you would want it. So I want it to have quite a bit of texture. So I'll just line it up there towards the top. And then I'm going to crank it through with one cutting plate through the big shot. Okay. So I'll take the big shot away for just a moment because we will need it again. But I just wanted to show you how this turned out with the textured embossing folder, and it just is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. That'll add a nice accent. So I'm going to pop this, so I'll bring the card base around just down the bottom here, just to give a bit of interest for the toolbox. Isn't that great? I love it. So cute. Okay. So now we will grab our pieces of foil and some tempting turquoise cardstock. I forgot to mention that earlier. And we'll grab some Stays-On ink. And what we're going to do is we are going to stamp on, hang on a second, stamp on the foil, because this needs to be able to stay on shiny surfaces. So that's what you use Stays-On for, as well as watercolouring. So it has multi-purpose. So I'll just ink up the stamp. Oh, forgot to take off the protective plastic layer. Okay, just give that a quick stamp. And I'm just going to stamp this down the bottom because I only want a partial image. So I'll just put it this way, I think. So I'll just make sure that that stamps across. And try not to move it too much, otherwise it will smudge. So that turned out pretty good. So I'm just going to let that dry for a couple of minutes because that's quite shiny. And on this piece of tempting turquoise, I'm going to fully stamp now in Stays-On. Again, because I've got it out, might as well use it. The whole hammer because we're going to use the whole hammer today. And actually we don't need this piece. And I'll just stamp it on down here. Okay, I'll just hold it there for a few seconds. And off it goes. It's stamped absolutely perfectly. Okay, beautiful. Alrighty. Now I'm just going to clean that stamp off, and you'll need the StazOn cleaner. And I'll just give that a quick clean. I like cleaning my stamps immediately after I use StazOn. You can't use StazOn cleaner on your photopolymer stamps because it will actually break them down. So I've got a cloth here and I'm just going to use that for the StazOn. So it's beautiful. Okay, so that's it with the StazOn. So that was good. Pop this over to one side. Okay, so now what we will need to do as well is we're going to stamp on a scrap piece here, and we're going to be using the Nailed It sentiment, as well as there's some images there of some nails. So I'm going to grab my Smoky Slate ink pad and I'm going to stamp Nailed It. Oops, that didn't turn out well, so luckily this piece is big and we can turn it over as well. So I will stamp Nailed It, and we'll use those nails as well. Okay, that turned out really cute. And on the inside panel, whilst we have this all out, I'm going to stamp just down the bottom there some nails, and that's that done. Not sure if you can see that. So that's the nails done there, and that's the sentiment there that I've stamped. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll bring up our big shot and we'll just start cutting all of these elements off without framelits. So we're going to use our magnetic platform next, and oops, and a cutting plate. So we'll start off with the big sheet that I've got here. I didn't have time to cut it down to size, so I'll bring out my framelits, and we will need today the hammer, and I'll bring this out too. We will need this for the sentiment as well, okay? So line this up as best as you can, and just as a reminder that there is a border around the die cut, so just try and even it up as much as you can on either side. Okay, put our next cutting plate on top. Whoops. And we'll crank that through the big shot. Okay. And that cut the hammer quite beautifully. Then we will bring the foiled piece that we stamped earlier, and we're just going to cut a bit of it. Okay. Just make sure it's even on either side. Okay. And I'll crank that through the big shot. So that's cut. Now we're going to cut the sentiment of Nailed It. That turned out really good, like that. Okay. Oops. Okay. Now I'll crank that through the big shot. Oops. Let's see it now. That turned out super cute. I love that. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut using the Layering Ovals Framelit Dies, we're going to cut the handles. So I'm just using these bottom 2 ovals framelits. I'm going to cut them like so. And now just crank that through. Okay, and that's it with our big shot work. So I'll take away the big shot. And what it's cut now looks like a handle. So I'll show you how I'll do that in a second. Okay, so I'll take away our pieces there, all our bits and pieces. So we'll bring back the card base. So what we'll do for the inside panel is we'll start from the inside out. We'll grab some fast fuse and we will start assembling this card. It's really nice and simple. Nice and sticky. So I'll pop that on there. Okay, so I'll leave that like this. Now that we've got that embossed strip of silver foil, so we're going to put that towards the bottom. So I'll just grab some fast fuse with that one. I'll just put a bit here on the corner because none of it went in there. A bit more again. It's super sticky, guys, amazingly sticky. So we'll just put it towards the bottom and just leave us really, a small border. We'll try and even it out actually. Just put it here, down there. So we'll just trim off, where are my scissors? Oh, there they are. Just trim them off here. There's a little bit of an overlap, an overhang. So it looks like that. Now we're going to stick the handle behind. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off just there and there. And we're going to just put a little bit of glue just on the ends there. So I'm just using my liquid glue. You can use your Tombow. Just a bit of glue on either side. And I'm going to stick that on. And that's how it'll look at the back. I put a little too much glue, but that looks good, I think. I think that looks great. So just make sure it's, in the middle. Okay. Now we'll just grab all our other little bits and pieces here. And what I'm going to do again is I'm going to just do some trimming. So I'll just trim that off. And we'll just pop that on top of the other piece. So it's nice and easy. See, that looks amazing. I love that. Just grab my glue. So I'll just stick it directly on top of the other piece. So this makes fussy cutting a breeze. You just cut straight across if you don't want to make, say, the hammer all the same colour. So that's how the hammer looks. Isn't it great? And I love the silver foil. It just adds a nice element of bling without it looking, not very masculine. So I'll just pop that there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to stick some glue. I'm going to stick that there. I think I like that. So we'll stick some glue up until about that point. So grab some glue. Get that working. Because you don't want to glue it all the way down. So glue it like so. So it looks like that. Might just press down on those score lines a little bit more, just so it helps to keep it closed. Okay. So I think that's perfect. And now with the nailed it, I'll stick that down too with glue because I want to make sure it goes through the post without an issue. So you can put dimensionals on this sentiment, but I quite like it flat. I think it's the fact that it's a shaped card makes it cool in itself. And I like how this is angular, so that kind of goes with the shape that we've done here. So I'll stick that down. And there's your card, all finished, guys. Really quick and easy toolbox card. So that's how it looks. So I'll bring it up closer for you to have a look at. Isn't that great? Love, love, love this embossing folder, especially on foil. Just looks amazing. And I love that foil cardstock. Nailed it. I think we nailed it. Love the handle. And it opens up and you've got the nails there and you can write your thank you sentiment. So I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. I really enjoyed working with this bundle. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. If you'd like to purchase any of these products featured today, please visit my online store at pepperlyrose.blogspot.com for my blog, and for my online store, it's pepperlyrose.stampinup.net. I will leave the links in the description below. Okay, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye.